Rock Salt MUZKAST experience. I'm a little off the studio audience threw me off.
We packed them in like your show last night.
They're just so excited for Scott.
So you had a sold out show last night.
Well, let's introduce him at least first.
Okay.
It's Scott from Hush Harbor.
Yes.
From Louisville, Kentucky.
Yes, sir.
Boy, they love you today.
Kentucky Derby, which is going, if you don't know, I know you're in California, right? But today here in Louisville, Kentucky is the Kentucky Derby. The most famous horse race in the world is going on today. And it's only 60 degrees here. So there's a lot of cold people out watching the race today.
Is that a big deal in Kentucky?
It's a 2-week long festival.
Really? So a lot of people get out there and like locals get out there and party and have a good time.
Oh, dude. So it starts with the largest fireworks display in the world. It's called Thunder over Louisville. They have it on the river. Wow. And about 1.6 million people come to it. It's huge.
Wow.
Yeah. And then there's events every day, parades, all kinds of stuff leading up to the day of the race. And that's today. So
I had no idea. I thought it was just a race. You want to go watch some fireworks in Louisville next year, Aaron?
Well, I was going to say these horses are spoiled now. You know, that's why some of them don't even want to run. Like, hey,
brother, these horses are treated better than you and I are ever.
Right?
A good life.
Yeah. You know, if I was worth that kind of money, they'd treat me right too.
Amen, friend. You got that right, both of us.
All right.
So let's get back.
Yeah.
Sold out show last night. How was that?
Yeah, it was great, man. I have a ministry. It's called Joyous Noise Ministry. It's a promotion company besides Hush Harbor. Okay. So I put on and organize festivals and shows in our region. I do about 5 of them a year. Okay. And this was a new one for us. It was called Rock on the Ring. It was at a venue called the Arena where they typically do wrestling. That's why it was called Rock on the Ring. Oh. And we had 3 other bands join us, and it was sold out weeks and weeks in advance. And it was
wow. Who else was on the bill? Just out of curiosity.
We had kicked off with a band called Ragamuffin Sons, which are a couple guys that I knew independently, and they both wanted to be in a band. I introduced them, and they started a band, and I said, "I'll book you." And had a good friend of ours, Joel Jackson, who is also a movie producer, made a movie a couple years ago called Rock for Jesus. Really cool movie. If you haven't seen it, it's on
I've heard
Amazon.
Of that one.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's called Rock for Jesus. So he's a good friend of mine. He's a solo artist. And then we had a band called Grace at 11, which is a really cool band. They got their name off of, you ever watch Spinal Tap?
Yeah.
You know, our amps go to 11. Well, they're great. They're Grace at 11, which is kind of cool. And then Hush Harbor closed out the night. And it was great. It was a great show.
It's interesting that you bring up Spinal Tap because I was going to bring up a Spinal Tap joke since you're the drummer.
Nice.
But this week, unfortunately, if you've seen Spinal Tap,
I did.
The drummer actually died.
Wow.
Yes.
Which is a joke running through the movie. The drummer always dies. Yeah. So the final one that they replaced him with, he passed away this week. Yeah,
that's right, man. Yeah.
I can see a little picture of you over your shoulder there, and I'm assuming that's Hush Harbor.
That is
not
Hush
like
Harbor.
Perfect Foil or something like that.
Well, see, I'm usually backing them up, as you can see in the picture. So today I'm going to allow them to back me up.
All right. Well, that's a good picture, by the way.
Thanks, man.
Was that at the sold out show?
That was a couple shows ago, because that's not our rig. Our light rig and stuff is bigger than that. I can't remember what show that was. They get a little blurry, but that's everybody except Jenny. You can't see Jenny. I'm kind of taking where Jenny would stand. I'm kind of taking her spot right out of the middle.
I gotcha. I gotcha. Is she hiding behind you, or?
I don't know.
No, doesn't look like it.
No, not on that shot.
All right.
Hey, while we're talking about the band, who's in the band?
So, our guitar player, our lead player, he's a senior pastor at a church in Shelbyville, Kentucky, which is a really cool combination. You don't see many pastors who play lead, Van Halen style leads, right?
Nice.
But, we go to that church when we go to Kentucky.
He's a big Van Halen guy. So his name's David Charlton. And then we've kind of got the guy that plays and sings and does everything. This guy, Craig Embry's our keyboard player, but he plays guitars, mandolins, sings. He can play everything. He's super talented. And then we got my buddy plays bass and is the wildest dresser in the band. P-Mac is what we call him, Perry McDaniel. And then we've got
he's got the blue pants. I mean, the red pants on the back.
He got the red. He's got the red breeches on right there.
You know, we should get P-Mac together with P Diddy, and they can have a bass off.
Dude, P-Mac's got some. He's got some style. I don't know what style it is, but he's got some. Got some style. And then we've got Miss Jenny Carr fronting the band, and has been for the last couple of years, and she is just fantastic. We have a crew, full-time sound guy, full-time light guy, a couple people help us load in and out. And we're really blessed, man.
So where did you find Jenny at?
So Jenny and I have been friends because we've both been in the music scene here in Louisville, Kentucky for longer than I want to admit, but we've been friends through the scene for probably 15 years. And she was originally independent country artist. She sang country. She was signed to a label and toured around all over, did all kinds of stuff. And she got a call from the Lord to get out of that, and she didn't know where she was going. She didn't know what she walked away from a record deal and everything.
Wow.
And our previous singer had to leave because of some health issues. And we started auditioning people, which is a grueling process. It's painfully grueling. And I was like,
Aaron, imagine American Idol.
Oh, yes. Yes. When you see those, that's exactly what it's like.
Yeah.
Except you're the guy that's got to hit the red button or whatever, and it's
sure.
It's the more difficult. You don't hurt.
Well, I would have like a trap. So just the floor that opens up on them.
That would be sweet,
because I don't have to talk to them after that.
You know what I would do? You know what I would do is I would take the full American Idol thing, and I would just phone in my vote, text in my vote.
Right.
And then you don't have to face the guy when you tell him no.
Right. Well, it was really grueling. And so we had always had male front people. It'd always been all guys in the band. And Jenny and I had talked one time a few years ago, and I said, "Hey, have you ever thought about playing Christian music?" She said, "Oh, I would love to at some point." And that was it. We never talked about it again. So I was sitting there one night and I just called her. I said, "Hey, we're having auditions. Would you be interested?" She said, "When? I'll be there."
Wow.
So she comes and auditions, and a couple of the guys in the band were nervous about having a woman in the band. That was new, something new. Oh gosh.
Right.
So anyway, so she comes and auditions and just kills it. Okay. And we said, "Well, give us a few minutes." And we're like, one of the guys like, I think we ought to have her come back a second time. And I'm like, "Dude, this girl she's the real deal. Let's get her." So anyway,
What's she saying? What's she saying?
What did she audition with?
Well, yeah.
Oh, she auditioned with all Hush Harbor original songs. So she learned our stuff and came and killed it. And so anyway, we had her come back a second time. Of course, she got the gig. So the ongoing joke was, so I asked her, I said, "Hey, I'm sorry we had to have you come back and audition a second time." I said, "Does the band ever ask you to do that?" And she said, and I quote, "I've never had to audition a first time." She's really good, man. I mean, she's really good. So yeah, we're blessed to have her, man.
So that's a pretty big shift, going from a male front man to a female front person. That I want to get into the mechanics of that a little bit, but
sure.
Do you have any like songs that she just can't do where she's the lyric is maybe like, "I'm just a man and I go home to my wife," and
Yeah, there was something that she changed the gender on a word one time. I can't remember what song it was, but she did change one time. Like, "I'm a woman" instead of "I'm a man." That would have been really weird for her to sing "I'm a man." But for most of the part, that has had no problems. And actually, it's really broadened our audience. It really has. It's her style, coming from country music and adapting it to rock music. She's still got a little of the country twang in her. That's who she is, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's who she is. She's a Kentucky girl, man, and she's bred that way, right? That's Kentucky girls. That's how they talk,
right?
But it's changed our style all in a good way. It's really. We're a variety band, so we do originals and covers and everything, right? So you might hear us covering an Ann Wilson, Tell Me About My Jesus, and the next moment we're covering Disciple, Dear X. Right?
Nice.
I mean,
Oh man,
it's a wide range.
It's quite the swing. Well,
Yeah.
I want to get into one of the songs I really like. It's called Testimony.
Amen.
And it's not the raucous rock that we normally play, but I
Right.
dig it because
got some twang to
it's
it.
got a country rock feel to it.
Yes.
And it's very cool. And one of my favorite bands all time, partly because I grew up in Sacramento, is Tesla. And they've got that country rock thing. They're a little harder on the rock side, but man, I love their country rock type stuff. So we're going to do that.
Sure,
Testimony, Hush
Awesome.
Harbor, Rock Salt MUZKAST Experience. Rock Salt MUZKAST Experience, Aaron and Dave and Scott, the drummer from Hush Harbor, all the way from Louisville, Kentucky.
Yes.
Big doings today. You said it's the Kentucky Derby.
It is Derby Day. We call it Derby Day. And last night was Derby Eve. Growing up here in Louisville, we always had big rock shows on Derby. There'd be the Derby Eve Jam. So this is giving my age away a little bit. Back in the day, it was like Journey and those kind of guys.
On Derby Eve, does like Schumacher, the guy who rides the horses, the jockey Schumacher, right? He's most. I just totally screwed up my joke. Does he?
Okay.
I was gonna say, does he come down the chimney?
Chimney. Well, he might have a long time ago, but he's been gone a while. But those jockeys are amazing athletes, man. If you be out there and watch the horses, how big they are. I mean, that horse could turn around and run the other way if he wanted to.
Right.
On the back ain't gonna do nothing. And you're holding on, man. You better hold on. We're fast.
Well, Schumacher is much smaller than Santa, so I'm sure it's much easier for him to slide down the chimney.
Yes, it would be easier to come down.
Correct.
All right. I kind of saved my joke.
We bailed it out.
Did you ride horses in Kentucky?
Me?
Yeah.
Dude, I'm 6'3", 260 pounds. God ain't never made no horse on me on his back. All right. That horse, you think they run fast with those jockeys? You see me try to saddle up, that horse will run fast.
You ever think that horses think that when they're lined up and they got people getting on them and they're like, oh, look, Bob got him. I told you.
Yeah.
He's paying the price.
Look at you. Now who's laughing?
Enjoy your day over. Yeah.
The little ponies at the the state fair, where they take the kids, and then they got the they got the big kid.
Yeah, enjoy your day there, Bob.
Oh yes, yeah. No, I'm a city boy. I grew up in the city, so I'm not on the farm. I'm a city boy.
Yeah, see, okay. I'm a city boy too, and Sacramento being the cow town, quote unquote, and it was when I grew up here in the '70s. It kind of was a cow town. Right. It's a much bigger city now, but I think that's where I get my love of like that. You were just calling it off the air, Americana rock, that Southern style rock, country rock thing, because country music is really big in Sacramento. So is hip hop and rap, and so is rock. And I grew
the two fastest growing music sales in the country are rap and country.
Yeah,
those are the two that are selling the most.
And then you got that little Nas guy mixing the two together and making $1 million.
Yep, sure do.
Yeah,
sure do.
That one's not that good.
Yeah,
it's not deserving.
Yeah.
Well,
by the way, you like that? You like that little Nas X song?
No, I'm saying we like doing that country Americana rock style. It kind of separates, kind of puts us over in a little different niche than a lot of the bands that we're blessed to play with.
Right.
Really.
Well, and I was just gonna say I would much rather listen to Testimony than that little Nas X garbage. I don't care for that song at all.
We'll take that as a great compliment.
It is a compliment. It's a great song.
Well, we worked really hard on that, and that's the name of our title track of our latest CD. And we just have been so encouraged by people downloading it, streaming it, buying CDs. People still buying CDs at the shows. I mean, it still amazes me.
Awesome.
We are still selling hard copy CDs. Like if you get a new car, you can't even find a CD player in a car these days. So it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. You know, if I do end up buying a CD, it comes home and goes straight into my computer. So it's digital and I can take it with me. Because I used to carry around a major box of CDs in my car.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, I had to
Had
have
a big
like
folder with all the pages in it.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I had the visor. The visor.
Oh, yeah. The
flap,
visor was rocking for a while. Yeah.
And then, you know, at work one day, my car got broken into and they took my CDs.
Yeah.
They took my visor CDs, the radio and the CDs. I'm like, well, those are Christian CDs, so maybe you'll get saved.
Well, wouldn't that be a testimony?
Yeah.
Huh? Come on. I mean, come on. We're talking about.
I've always wanted to find you, man.
Man, thank you for letting
You
me
saved
break
my
into
life.
yours. Right. And the song Testimony, funny enough, that's kind of what the genesis of that song was about. You know, we all have different ways, right? I'm sorry. My
there's the doggy.
I told you somebody's gonna come by the door or something. He's gonna freak out. But
Down Cujo.
He's earned, oh yeah, 8 pounds of killer right there. But he's earned his pay right now. But so you know the song Testimony, it's you know what it's about really is we all have our own testimony about how we came to know the Lord, right? It's not always somebody was born and they started going to church when they were young, and right. A lot of us, like me, came to the Lord late in life, right? So my testimony is pretty dramatic. I went to a rock show with no intention on doing anything about Jesus, and it was a Christian rock show, and it changed my life. Okay, so that's my testimony, right? And you two have yours, and everybody's is a little different, right? And that's why the song talks about being a living, walking testimony. Man, we all are. All of us are.
Right.
What show was that? Can I ask the
Yeah,
artist?
sure can. So I went to my wife, bless her heart, she had been asking me to go to church for a long time. And I was like, look, I don't want to go to church. I don't gamble. I don't drink. I don't do whatever it is. So thus I shouldn't go to church, which doesn't equal reality. But
yeah,
then I'd been a musician for a long time. She started asking me to go to Christian concerts. And I was like, I don't want to go listen to a bunch of people sing about Jesus, man. That's not my thing. You know, give me some metal and some rock. And anyway, she kept asking, very loyal, good wife. So I was like, I came up with a brilliant plan that I'm going to go to a show and get her off my back. Okay. Had it all planned out. I'm going to sit there all night like a good man. At the end of the night, I'm going to get in the car and say, look at what a good guy you got. I gave up my whole night to go there. Now, don't ask me to go anymore. So she got us tickets to go to Winter Jam.
Oh, nice.
Big touring, probably the largest touring festival, Christian bands. And it was, there was a band, Sidewalk Prophets. I don't know if you know them.
Okay, I know there.
And at that time, this is going back 11 years ago, they were on the opening bill. They were kind of unknown. And their singer, Dave, who's since become a friend of ours, he's a big dude like me. He came out with a Bible in one hand and a microphone, and he's singing like a bird, man. I was like, man, I don't know what this boy's singing about, but this dude can sing. And they got a song called These Are the Words I Would Say. And right during the middle of it, bam. I mean, I just felt like you plugged me into the wall socket and changed the direction of my life, man. And that's why I'm so passionate about putting on shows and wherever we can, right? And reaching people however we can.
I'm going to make a weird analogy here.
Sure, man.
But it's going to fit. Trust me. If you, I don't know, kind of link it together. You ever see the movie Untouchables?
Yeah.
All right. You know where De Niro is walking around the table towards the beginning of the movie there, and he's talking about teamwork. Yeah. And he's got the baseball bat.
Yep.
And I love this scene. It's a great scene. But he gets to that one guy and they're like teamwork, and he bats him over the head.
Yep.
Kind of like God with you at Winter Jam, huh?
You know, I was sitting in we call it the critical care section. We were in the second row. Okay. And if I ever go to a show or go to a church or wherever, man, I sit in the critical care section, right? I sit right up close so I don't miss nothing. And, yeah, those guys have become great friends of ours, and the guys that run the tour, great people. and having helped us in our ministry and encouraged us, and it's been fantastic. So
that is really kind of an interesting story that you said it was Dave from Sidewalk Prophets, right?
Yeah.
That you went to see him. He doesn't know you. You hadn't met him or anything like that. And he changes your life, or a vessel to change your life, however you want to say it. And then you meet later, and I'm sure you told him the story.
Oh,
right?
yeah, man. Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's a crazy roundabout way, small world type of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we actually booked them for our very first Rock on Water festival that my wife and I. So all that happens. I get saved. I get baptized at a church a couple months later. 2 months after that, so I've been a Christian like 5 months. I think God's telling me to go to the city and tell them to have a big Christian festival here, outdoor festival at this real cool venue. It's on the river. It floats on the river. It's real cool. And it's called the River Stage. So I go to the city and I'm like, hey, I think you guys should do this and you guys should do this. And the mayor's like, this is a great idea. I was like, wow, man, this praying thing really works. and he goes, why don't you do it? And I was like, what do you mean? Why don't I do what? Why don't I do what? 1 second. My wife just stepped in. She just sent me. I just got a letter from the city, from the mayor.
Oh, yeah. Do what, Mr. Mayor?
Yeah, right. Yeah. So I was like, I don't know how to do this. And I go, okay, I'll do it. So I left his office not having a clue. I mean, I'd played shows, but putting on a festival, that's a whole.
Yeah, that's a different beast.
So when we thought about, so who do we want to have? Well, I wanted to have Sidewalk Prophets, man. That was, and I contacted them and shared my story, and they said, yeah, we'd love to come.
Wow.
And booked him as our headliner that very first year. We're going on our 10th year coming up this year.
Wow. That's awesome.
Did you ever tell your wife that you were going to tell her, don't ask me to go to Christian concerts after tonight? Did that ever come up?
No. My plan was to tell her that at the end of the night, brother.
Yeah. Did you ever tell her you were going to say that?
Yeah, that was going to be the big reveal. Now, don't ask me to go anymore. No, I'm going. Oh, yeah, I'm going. It's going to be great.
But no. Did you ever tell her though?
Oh, yeah, she's heard the story a million times now.
Oh, okay.
But see, now that Scott's in a band, she tells him no more Christian concerts. I don't want to go to see any more Christian I'm kind of Christian concert man.
Dude, she has been to more shows than anybody else, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's a huge supporter of mine. Yeah.
Being in radio for 17 years, I love going to concerts. That's one of my big things. But I kind of got to the point where I was like, I've seen so many shows that now it's got to be something I really, really want to see in order for me to go to it. And people call me, go like some buddies from radio. This was a few years back. Go, hey, aren't you going to the Joan Jett show? Nah, I'm good. Oh, we got tickets. We're backstage. All right, I'll come down.
Right.
It's like it was more of a chore than it was joyous.
Right. Take something different too, right? I mean, if you my very first concert, now this is going back a ways, okay? My very first concert when I was a kid was Kiss, okay?
Well, tough to top that. That's setting the bar really high there.
Okay, with AC/DC opening the show with Bon Scott singing.
Oh man.
Okay, so that was my first concert as a kid. Now where you
might as well just hang it up at that point.
Yeah, where do you go from there, right? I mean,
it's like winning the Super Bowl your rookie season.
Oh yeah, man. It was awesome.
I'm done.
This guy has seen Bon Scott, Aaron, and I know that doesn't mean a lot to you. It means a lot to me, though.
Oh yeah.
For $7.50. Come on.
Holy
I got a book. It's got all those old stubs in it from all those years. And you go through and look at these bands that I saw for the money I pay,
right.
Or my parents' money I spent, I guess.
There's a guy I used to listen to on talk radio that would talk about seeing Bruce Springsteen in his high school gym.
Yeah.
So I'm like, wow.
I've seen Chappelle before he was famous, Dave Chappelle in a little comedy club. I saw Lady Gaga before she was famous, opening up for, get this, great show, by the way, New Kids on the Block. Not a fan of the music, but man, they put on an entertaining show. I've seen them twice.
I saw U2 open for the Jay Giles band.
What?
Kentucky. Yes, way back. And that was back in the days when everybody stayed outside and partied while the opening band was on. They wouldn't come in, like, you know,
Right.
And I'm in this arena and there's about 600 people in the whole arena watching U2. First tour of America. Nobody knew who they were. Oh yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I
great concert experiences growing up.
I saw U2 right after Bono had his back surgery. I was in Colorado at the time, and that was the first rescheduled, which was actually the opening date of the tour. They rescheduled the whole tour.
Right.
And just because I'm a big, huge U2 fan, but I was a little disappointed in the show. He put on a great show. I will say that.
Right.
But it was all music I had never heard of.
They were so hungry back then, man. They were young. I mean, they were probably only like 20 years old, man. They were first time in America. They were awesome, man. But yeah, I've had lots of great.
Did you think they were going to be this big?
No way.
No
way.
Yeah.
I was like,
you know,
hear these guys again.
I'm going to tell this story really fast because I know we're about to go over. I'm going to tell this story really fast, but I just love this story, and that's why I'm going to tell it.
Sure.
So back in the day of Live Aid, you watched Live Aid, right? We all watched Live Aid. It was that big.
Yeah.
So you remember they had the rotating stage, and that was the way that they could get around, you know, the breakdown and setup. You get the rotating stage, you keep the show moving.
Yep.
So they had allotted time to the bands based on how big they were at the time. And they told them that it doesn't matter if you go 1 second over, the plug is going to get pulled. That stage is going to rotate and you're going to be out. So be done on time. U2, still not a huge name at that point. They're playing England. Of course, the headliners that day were Queen, and they started playing the song Bad. And Bono got the idea that if he jumped off the stage, they couldn't rotate the stage without him. They wouldn't stop the show without him.
The bus wouldn't leave without him.
Right. So that's where you get that famous thing where he jumps off the stage and pulls a girl out of the crowd and dances with her, which was like one of the biggest moments of Live Aid. Everybody saw it. Everybody remembered it.
Right.
The band said they were so upset because they didn't know he was going to do it. And that stage was so tall that they thought he had fallen and broken his leg, and they didn't know what to do. So they just kept playing the same, chords over and over and over again until he popped back up. It was huge for him. It really set a mark for him. It got them the attention they needed.
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. A lot of accidents turn out to be the best decision you ever made, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So what's upcoming for Hush Harbor?
What's in the future for Hush Harbor?
We got a lot of really cool things. We got some independent shows that we're doing with some other people. And then we've got a really big show coming up on September the 10th in Jeffersonville, Indiana. So Jeffersonville, Indiana is located right beside Louisville, Kentucky. The thing that separates the two is the Ohio River. Okay.
Oh.
And on the river is the river stage. That's where we have Rock on Water. That's the concert I was telling you about. I went to the mayor, right? And this is our 10th year for that. So we've got our headliner is Disciple. We've got a band from Kokomo called The Protest. We've got Chaotic Resemblance. If you haven't checked those guys out, they're from Oklahoma. You know, you guys like to rock, okay?
Aaron is a huge.
Okay. Chaotic Resemblance. Check them out. You'll love it. It's kind of like a young Motley Crue without all the sex and drugs.
That's what Aaron says all the time. I think they sound like Motley Crue.
They do.
Yeah, they're great. So then we've got a band called Carrollton, who wasn't even a band anymore. They hung it up a couple years ago. Great band, had played our festival many years, and they're reuniting for a one-off show for us. We're really excited about that.
Nice.
Great band. They're Americana rock at its finest. You can check them out, Carrollton. And then Hush Harbor's playing, and we got a couple other folks opening up the show. So it's like seven bands. It's the largest free Christian music festival in our region now.
Oh,
So
that's awesome.
That's our biggie coming up this summer.
Awesome. And when is that?
That is September the 10th. And you can find out more information. Just go to rockonwaterfestival.com and all the information. And it's 100% free festival. Free.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, totally free.
As in FREE.
As in double nothing to get in, right?
All right.
Twice,
yeah, a bargain at twice the price.
Yes, sir. So and we got some other shows, independent shows and one-offs, and hushharbourband.com will give you all the shows we're going to and playing, ticket information. And we're just so excited, man. We're going back in the studio, got new music coming, and we're thrilled.
Awesome. And if anybody wants to get a t-shirt or anything, that's at hushharbor.com.
Yeah, hushharbourband.com. They can reach out to us. We can hook them up. There's a contact us, and anything you need, we'll hook you up.
Awesome. Well, Scott, I definitely hope you come back and talk to us again.
Hey, I want to just real quick give you guys a shout out. If it wasn't for people doing what you're doing, radio is still important. Okay. And introducing people to music, all of us can agree that probably our first taste of rock music was on some radio station somewhere, on some little transistor or something, right? We heard it. We're like, what is this? Right. Wow, I need this. Yeah. Right. Well, that's still happening. I mean, I know we got technology and we got MP3s and we got stream, we got all that. Right. But the reality is there's still radios in cars. Okay. They're still putting them in there. And keep doing what you're doing, man. It's helping bands. It's helping get the word out about the Lord. I mean, I can't thank people enough for all that. And thank you for having me on. It's a huge honor and support to be on your show, man.
Thank you, Scott. I do want to throw in really fast. I do this to Aaron. I throw him curveballs, so he doesn't know I'm going to do this. But we were just saying that everything about, the MP3. And I was talking about Tesla earlier. They've got a song called the MP3. Can we throw that in in the mix of all of this? Because it really puts into song what you just said, Scott. We got all this stuff, the MP3 and all that, but nothing beats just, the old school way of doing it.
That's right. And a great band too. Tesla's a great band.
I love Tesla. Love them.
Man.
All right, Scott. Cool. What's that?
I said, grew up on all that, man. That's right. Played their stuff for years, man.
Well, growing up in Sacramento in the 80s, and that is the big band from here.
Right.
Yeah, this was a Tesla town in the 80s.
Awesome.
Scott, thank you very much. Hush Harbor.
Thank you guys. God bless you, man.
All right, check it out. This is the Rock Salt MUZKAST Experience.